But choice, but not wrong, right? There's a difference, right? It may not be, the best vernacular for all people, but like the truckers seem to be like on the leading front of patriotism. I'm like, oh, dude, I can hit millions of people every time I push a button here. Just so people can understand. Obviously, you've taken and you're doing the actions to do that. Sorry, I get that it's not milk that's jacked up with every hormone that's doing whatever it is to our children and creating the insanity that we see. White men screaming for the genocide of trans people, because all of a sudden the left was all about free speech, but it was like, no. Does it violate the Penn and Harvard and the Ivy League community that even like we should, based on policy, but the Democrats have failed for 50 years with these individuals, the amount of African American men that have come up to me, literally like, "Hey man, you're my hero." I'm like, "What?" Like the country, I fly commercial. I'm all, I have interesting now. The Democrat Party is suing to actually created an alternate Democrat, a right wing whatever thought, but like. While I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, but RNC infrastructure our way as it relates to the way they ultimately vote, and I who's been focused on that specifically as it relates to the hunters. Ted Nugent's out there. You got to win state legislature. You got to win everything across the board. I mean, sort of America first figures. Answer all of your questions. The walk patriotism. 70-75 coffee is farm to cup. They have quote been criticized for lacking concrete. White privilege is fucking real. He's as passionate about the America.
Being high on drugs can create an altered state of consciousness, characterized by changes in perception, mood, and cognitive processes. Depending on the substance, experiences can range from heightened euphoria and sensory distortion to deep relaxation or intense anxiety. While some users describe a sense of escapism or temporary relief from reality, these effects are often accompanied by risks, including impaired judgment, decreased motor coordination, and potential for psychological dependence. Long-term drug use can lead to serious health consequences, addiction, and negative impacts on personal relationships and responsibilities. Drugs impact both the poor and the rich, albeit in different contexts. For the poor, drug abuse often exacerbates existing struggles, such as poverty, limited access to health care, and social marginalization. In contrast, the rich might face fewer immediate consequences due to better access to resources, but are not immune to the addiction's damaging effects on health, relationships, and personal fulfillment.
And 3 years later, how about that? 3 years later, he goes, got along with him well. Although he did announce the other day that he'd much rather see Biden as president. And I agree with him. I agree. Because, I'm not sure that Cary Grant, do you know Cary Grant? He was this very handsome guy. I'm going to put it more in this. Sidney Poitier, I thought he was very handsome, right? When he was 81, I'm not sure he looked great in a bathing suit. I don't know if anybody looks too great in a bathing suit at 81. What do you think? Maybe these guys look good in a bathing suit. But if he... The inflation that he caused primarily because of his stupid energy policies, windmills all over the place. Let's put up windmills all over. Let's do, windmills. My wife, our great first lady, she was a great first. People love her. Yeah, people love her. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mercedes, that's pretty good. She's good.
За Трампа голосуют в массе своей не очень умные, примитивные люди, с которыми вот так вот и надо разговаривать. Шаблонными,
так все-таки нельзя.
Тупыми лозунгами.
Да, для вот этих вот там реднеков, для какого-то там вот этого уровня, для деревенщин, да, что называется, которые вот вопиют к Ой, извините, ради бога. 10 слов, которые он местами переставляет. Сволочь такая, все. Пойду сейчас
Вы не его избираете.
Не, ну правда. Слушайте, и вот этот человек собирается быть опять президентом.
Это его манера.
Хватит. Да я не про себя говорю. Идиоты идиотские. Так.
Это его манера общения.
Сколько там они дают? 14 миллиардов Израилю. Я бы 140 миллиардов. А Украине? Где это Украина? 60 миллиардов. Ничего. Все Израилю.
Красиво. Красиво.
Вот так вот и будет.
The Doomsday Clock, a symbolic representation created by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, indicates the perceived threat level to humanity and the planet. Set minutes to midnight, with midnight symbolizing global catastrophe, it reflects factors like nuclear risk, climate change, and emerging technologies. The clock serves as a stark reminder of existential dangers we face. Do you want any of these people to be anywhere near the nuclear codes?